memories of the early Nitros? How smooth was the production aspect? Was it a chaotic atmosphere backstage, or was it pretty much smooth sailing backstage?
I think that in the beginning they were winging it. They were really they had an idea of what they wanted to produce, and they had an idea of what the product should be. But there was also a lot of question marks there, and it was chaotic in the back. You know, that booking room, it got really chaotic. There were a lot of changes backstage. There were a lot of things going on back there that, man, I'm glad I wasn't a booker back then, because that was some heavy stress, man. Because you had to come up with things in a split second and then get out there on a live national TV and produce. So yes, along with that chemistry, of course you're going to get chaos. And a lot of that developed in the early Nitros. And as the product developed, they got better and better at it. And it became a smooth running show, I believe, on the end mark. But
I remember that. 95, right? I said, they said, next week, the debut of WCW Nitro. And even back then, I said, I don't know about trying to keep up with Raw. I remember that. Yeah, know about that. But you a wrestling fan, you know damn well you was going to watch it. That was something. And then I remember Tuesday morning. Yeah, you got on the bus and went to school. This was, this was high school back then. He got on and talked about, what about Lex Luger showing up from out of nowhere and Sting and Flair looking confused. Know about that. That was something. Sting couldn't stop looking down. I guess he thought Luger was going to run in the ring and do something. The way he kept looking down the aisle. I'll never forget that. Did I have that on? Yeah, I had that on VHS tape. Sure did. What the hell is Luger doing here? That was something. And he was just in what's the name the night before? That was something.
In the beginning, of course, you have some growing pains, and with any successful product, you're going to have your trials like that. But yeah, it was like anything else. Didn't know what was happening back there, but it would all come together, and we'd go out there and put on the show, and it was fantastic. So yeah, and there was days when there was a little lull in the program, but we'd build it right back up and do something else spectacular. So yes, there was a lot of excitement in that too.
Talking about the booking room getting heated and a lot of kind of maybe what you might call backstage turmoil. Do you remember any what you might call political power plays that you were privy to, that you witnessed at the time, that maybe when things started getting kind of ugly backstage?
Man, I tell you what, people were coming and going. That was like a revolving door, And Eric Bischoff had full control of that revolving door. I've seen people walk into his office and walk out without a job.
That's rough.
Yeah, there was a lot of political plays.
That's rough.
One of the interesting...
About walking in to get fired.
Paul Orndorff was in the booking committee. And I remember at center stage when he had a little altercation with Big Vader.
Uh-oh.
At the time, Vader was really popular, big, strong.
He's seen it.
I don't know what the altercation was about. I know he was supposed to show up for an interview upstairs and didn't show up on time. But I'm Vader. I'm a star, And Orndorff challenged that. And it happened right in front of me where old Orndorff showed him who the boss was. And he put Big Vader on his butt. And I was standing right there to witness that. That's been a rumor back in the day what happened.
I believe him about that, because I remember he talked in another video how Vader was horsing around with him trying to see if he could submit Vader. Submit the pit bull, and this man's a Marine, or was a Marine for real, and he reversed it and choked him out. It was another video, and people was like, "Okay, this guy's nothing to play with." But he said he was right there, because you done heard 50 stories about that. He had no shoes on. No, he had on swimming trunks. No, he had on this. I was like, oh boy, He said he was right there. Who else said they saw it? Bagwell said he saw it. And then I heard about Shivani and what's his name? The announcer dude, Penza. He said I like Vader, but he said he I forgot how he said it. He said I like Vader, but he got his ass kicked that day or something like that. I can't remember how he said it. It was something like that. Dave Penzer. But yeah, they said that was rough. And who else was talking about? Page was talking about it. Dallas Page. He said that was rough.
Happened then. Well, I was an eyewitness.
Let me get that back, matter of fact.
But I was standing.
Yeah, right there.
Where old Orndorff showed him who the boss was, and he put Big Vader on his butt. And I was standing right there to witness that. That's been a rumor back in the day, what happened then. Well, I was an eyewitness. I saw it all firsthand. But it was interesting to see how the boys handled these guys that are in the office, most of them were wrestlers too. So you can't take that away from them, just because they're office pogies now and they're in the booking committee. You never lose that.
They said Orndorff nothing to play with.
That wrestling mentality. Sometimes you had to go back to that just to get it across. Hey, remember me? I was one of the boys too, So I did see a lot of things like that happen.
They said Vader, Orndorff nothing to play with. And Orndorff talked about it himself on the interview. They were running late for a meeting. Oh no, running late for a photo shoot or something like that. And then they got into a shouting match or something. And then the next thing you know, shouting with the fist. And and then Vader had. Keep saying Vader. He said Orndorff had to show him something. And he said, if this man had on the tell us another interview or another video, if he had on the cowboy, they like to wear the cowboy boots back then. If he had on the cowboy boots or the Timberlands, that would have been the man's skull caved in. But he said that. Whew, said it was rough, but that first Nitro was it in the Mall of America or something like that. And back then I remember the whole thing went from an hour, and then they would go on like 5 minutes early, then it went to 2 hours, or it was an hour and a half. And then I think they tried 3 hours, but that was probably overdoing it. But I remember that going on, starting the show at 8:55 or something like that. They try to catch the catch the early break or something like that. So while the other show's still going, they've been on the air for 5-6 minutes already. That was something. The Monday Night Wars. You'll never forget that.